Hyperfocus. This is how you tune out distraction, tune the world out, and you lock in, you do your best work, you lock into flow state and create deep, meaningful work. So in today's video, I'm going to break down the 8 steps to create hyperfocus and create your best work right now. So let's dive in. All right, so to create hyperfocus, you've got to do a few different things. Hyperfocus is basically where you get locked in, you're in the zone, you're unstoppable, you just feel like you're doing your best work. And what happens when you're in a hyperfocus is you're also activating flow state, which you might want to check out my previous video on flow state. When you're in flow state, you are triggering all 6 primary neurochemical releases, the positive neurotransmitters like oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, and others, where you're releasing that into your nervous system so that you feel happy, you feel in flow, you feel on top of the world. And you also tend to lose track of time when you're in flow state. So there's a reason why you want to create hyperfocus, more hyperfocus blocks in your life. And that means you might, honestly, put this guy aside, put in airplane mode, which I know can be scary for some of you, or just put it in a place where it's going to be harder for you to reach. You put on some music, you put in do not disturb, you let anyone know that, hey, I'm locked in for right now because I need to do some hyperfocus. So when you're in hyperfocus, how do you create the hyperfocus? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to delete inputs like open tabs. You know, most of us, we have so many freaking open tabs, and when you have all these open tabs, guess what? Your brain literally has all these open loops, and you want to reduce your open loops so that you can be locked in and focused. Because the more open loops you create, the more likely you are going to create basically openness to all these other things. You can't log in because you're thinking about all these other things. So reduce your open tabs, meaning, hey, if I'm going to do a hyper-focus block, I'm not going to check my email. I'm not going to check all my social media accounts. I'm not going to read the latest headlines on New York Times, USA Today, or Fox, or wherever your cup of tea is. You're going to dive right in. And you're also going to do it when you're in a more connected state. Like Steven Kotler, New York Times bestselling author, he writes almost all of his primary best writing blocks are 3 or 4 a.m. So he just gets up, gets a cup of coffee, and rock and rolls and knocks it out. So you're not creating openness. So you're locking in, deleting inputs. So second way to create a hyperfocus is old school. That's going to be taking a pen, one of these guys, or pencil, whatever your preferred choice, and paper. Just get it in a journal, get it in some paper, because when you're on your screen, it actually creates distraction. It creates this desire to open up these other tabs to see what else is going on. It's so easy with our laptops to just access the world at our fingertips, right? But when you lock in, you connect with yourself, your own inner guidance, and it also allows you to think more creatively. So start with pen and paper first and have a dedicated journal. I find that I have dedicated journals for different subjects, meaning if I'm going to be working on my money mindset, I have a money mindset journal. If I'm going to be working on YouTube content or creative content, I have a journal. That's what the one I just showed you is all about, right? Then I have a planner and I have other things. So I'm still working in pen and paper because it activates more creativity in my mind. The third thing is to do your most important work in your most vibrant hours. That's where I was talking about with Steven Kotler and a lot of other great writers. They find that you have about 3 to 4 peak emotional energy hours a day. And if you look at the book Daily Rituals of Artists, and it basically tracks over 100 of the world's most successful artists, from like Shakespeare to Hemingway and others, and found that they always had 3 to 4 hours where they did their real work, the thing that they were most known for, their deep work. And for most of them, it was in the morning. But some of the artists and creators, it was in the evening, late evening, midnight hours, where you're not distracted and bombarded and interrupted by others, and there's not the pressure to interact. So think of it that way. You want to create these hours and these blocks of time that are just yours to do your best work, all right? Then the fourth thing is create or use focus enhancing supplements. And these are things like NAD. I love this Infinity NAD product because it boosts your natural mental energy, but also your physical energy. So you feel more naturally, almost like your cells have energy. All right. And so it creates basically a more optimal state in your brain. Also really love this product, Genius Consciousness. Mango and watermelon are great flavors, but it's a nootropic. A nootropic basically is a brain-enhancing, focus-enhancing supplement. They also have this Genius Mindfulness, which is really good. And then Matcha, Ujito, I forgot to grab the bag, but it's an amazing product. Matcha has L-theanine, which is a calming, centering, focused supplement. So, or nutrient, I should say. So those supplements, for example, I wrote my book, The Genius Within. I wrote it every day for 30 days, basically. And I would write from typically 4 or 5 a.m. till about 8 or 9 a.m. before my wife would get up, before I had pressures with other work. I'd go to bed at like 9 or 10 because my wife was pregnant at the time. And so we were going to bed early. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to make the most of it. I would get up early, knock it out, and I would take those supplements. I would get locked in with some noise canceling headphones, some flow state inducing music like Baroque or meditative type music, just stuff that was not vocal, which is number 5, use focus enhancing music. I like this app, Indel is also really good, or New Palm. Both of those have just great music tracks that you can play that basically are non-vocal and just put you in this almost hypnotic state where you can get into flow state more easily. So, but you can also create a playlist on Spotify, like they have a lot of deep work or deep focus study playlists. I have some. It's really, really huge. Music literally changes your brainwaves. So you want to take advantage of that. The 6th one is use focus enhancing breath work. So this is just where you do, I like the 4-4-4 breath method, which is where you just go 4 seconds out, leave empty for 4 seconds, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, release for 4 seconds. You just do it over and over and over. And as you do that, it actually calms your nervous system down, gets your brain out of a frenetic or stress state into a calmer state, which allows you to access more of your prefrontal cortex and more of your creativity. Focus enhancing breath work is a really key aspect as well. Number 7 is get your subconscious working on it beforehand. So here's what that means. If I know I'm going to write a project or create a game plan for a business or whatever, then over a few days before I'm going to do my deep work, I might start jotting down questions. I might start listening to podcasts on the subject. I might start ideating and mind mapping and just writing my journal before I do the deep work session. Because then my subconscious has already started pulling together pieces and started thinking about it. Not just, oh, boom, I'm shifting from my busy, productive life. Right now I'm going to do deep work on this hard thing, and I haven't thought about it one iota before. And you gotta create space beforehand, okay? So that you can get your subconscious nurturing and marinating on it. So like a good steak, you wanna let it marinate really, really freaking good, okay? The 8th thing, this is one of the most important ones, is visualize. See the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. And so I have a timeline meditation, for example, where you literally go to the end of like this big accomplishment. It could be, your best-selling book, could be a new business, could be getting married, I don't know, whatever, moving to a new city. But you go there and you visualize, see, feel, taste, touch, and energetically connect with that thing that you want to experience, and you feel it. And then over time, actually with timeline exercise, then I have you work your way back, all the way back to the present moment. So with a lot of my one-on-one clients, I do the same, or we'll do it with and without medicine, meaning microdosing and other things. So we'll go up there, we'll experience, anchor that in, and then move our way back step by step, where you pre-experience each step along the way. And it basically sears it into your subconscious mind. It's like blazing a path through your neuro pathways, okay, of your subconscious mind. So the visualization basically trains your brain that I've already been here before, right? There's this one study in the 1980s, if I remember correctly, on free throw participants. And they took 3 groups of people, and they had one group would actually take free throws, shoot free throws 1 hour a day for 30 days. Second group would only visualize shooting free throws 1 hour a day for 30 days and improving their free throws. The third group did nothing. Well, guess what? Over 30 days, the first group improved their free throw percentage by like 80% if I remember correctly. I might be off slightly on the numbers. The second group, 78%. They only visualized, they only saw it in their mind's eye. So when they actually started taking the free throws, they'd already seen it. Their mind has already done it. They've already performed. The neural pathway is already there. The third group, of course, didn't improve at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, I would encourage you to share this with a friend, like and subscribe, and invite another friend that you want to do some hyper-focus time with as well. Could be your loved one, could be someone you work with. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to hearing more about how you've tuned in and tuned into yourself and tuned out the world of distractions. Much love.